welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a minute since I have posted on here, and that goes contrary to what I said when I first launched. However, my family went through a pretty intense health thing, and so I was pretty exhausted and very drained, and so I wanted to give myself time to recoup and get back into the groove of things, to come back and offer more info for you. So this week is going to be the last week that we'll have 3 videos. Like I mentioned in the last video, I was planning on going deeper into each of those 3 things I mentioned that you need to know before you start your business, because the last video was more of a bird's eye view. So this week we're going to dive deep into what each of those things really do mean practically and what I do with each of those things in my own business. So let's go ahead and get started with the first thing, which had to do with your passion, your purpose, your values, your mindset, all of those things all mixed into one. As I mentioned in that last video, you have to make sure that you pick something as your business that you are passionate about. I really can't stress this enough. If you're not passionate about what you want to start selling to people, then it's going to make it 10 times harder for you to actually sell it, because it's going to feel like a chore instead of something that you love to do. And you just have to start asking yourself questions, like the kind of the question that I had in the last video: what would you do at any point in time if you had free time? Like, what would you do during that free time for the rest of your life? And that's going to be a good indicator of what you are passionate about. And it can be more than one thing. It doesn't have to be just one thing. But start asking yourself those questions and start diving deep into what you really are passionate about and what you love to do. Do you love to make people laugh? Do you love to do random acts of kindness? Do you love to draw? Do you love to paint? Do you love to pick plants? Do you love learning about plants and being a plant lady? Do you love YouTube? Do you want to create content? Are you somebody who really does love to be out on social media and know the ins and outs of it? And then dive into that. Do you love to cook? Do you love to organize? Do you love to clean? Guys, you can literally make a job out of anything. Do you know that there are people in the world who are real life mermaids? They get paid to be a mermaid. I'm not bashing that. I'm just saying you can make a job out of anything. I 100% can tell you that. Just make sure that you're passionate about it. So when you start asking yourself those questions, you're going to ask yourself about your passion. You're also going to want to figure out what your purpose is just as a person. Now, as I mentioned in the very beginning with my about videos, I am a Christian, and so the purpose of my life is to glorify God and do that in however I can with my life. And so the main way that I have found that I love to do that is through photography and having a service mentality that's selfless and that's others-minded in order to represent the gospel and how Christ served and laid down his life for us. And so that's kind of like my purpose, and that's my passion behind why I do what I do and why I serve and handle my photography business the way that I do, is because I want to represent Christ in my service. And so just figure out what it is that you think is your purpose in life, and I would be happy to help you figure that out. If you would like to direct message me on Instagram, because I do very much believe that it has a lot to do with your values and your morals and who you are as a person, that helps you figure out what your purpose is. So figure out what you're passionate about, ask yourself those questions, figure out what your purpose is. Then you also want to figure out why you are doing this. And guys, I'm just going to be straight up with you right off the bat. If your sole purpose in being an entrepreneur or being, a small business owner or doing what you're trying to do is to make money, that's not going to last. It's really not, guys. I have seen so many successful people crumble because all they were chasing was the money. And guys, money cannot bring you happiness. Let me just tell you that right now. Money cannot bring you happiness. Your happiness has to come from something that is not materialistic, because these things can burn, these things can be taken away, these things, all of this can be gone like that. And if your sole happiness in life is to chase money, you are not going to be satisfied, you're not going to be fulfilled. I mean, genuinely, I'm pretty sure I've heard that from every single successful business owner in the world of all time. I'm pretty sure I've heard that all of the time, 100% of the time, no questions asked. And so just really evaluate why you're doing this. Now, my why has to do with my family and how we were brought up. My dad was such a hard worker, and he was actually in and out of jobs growing up for me, and so we saw, my siblings and I and my mom saw the example of hard work and what it means to selflessly give yourself for others over and over again through my dad. And again, that kind of ties into my purpose a little bit, but through my dad's example and through what he did for my family and what my mom did for our family, that is why I want to handle my business the way that I do, and why I want to direct my business and have just these specific values and pillars that uphold my business because of that example. And that is the motivation as to why I get up every day. And more so than that, it's also just how I want to bring up my children if the Lord gives us children one of these days. And so I want to be able to emulate that example and be that example for my children, but also just for other people in this world, and also for, again, those young entrepreneurs that I'm trying to speak to through this YouTube channel and through social media, etc. So you really need to hone in on your why. And the way that you do that, because I know that sounds weird, but really just start asking why. Like, if you are a photographer, why do you like taking photos? And then when you get that answer, ask why that. And when you get that answer, ask why that. And just continue to go down that path, because then you're really going to figure out what it is that photography is linked to, or whatever the business is that you want to start. By asking yourself those questions and really digging deep, you're going to be able to link back to what is motivating you and what is making you get up every single day and doing it, besides the fact that you just love it. And that's really going to give you clarity in regards to the direction you need to go with your business and the voice that you're trying to portray with your business. Now, the last thing that I want to say in regards to this video is that everything that I have talked about in this video so far, all of those questions that you're going to be asking yourself and really digging into who you are as a person, that's really going to affect your mindset and your values as a business owner. Because mindset is so key, guys. How you approach each day and how you approach your business and your service and how you approach your customers is your mindset, and that plays a huge role in the success of your business and in happy customers. You have to have the right mindset and you have to have the right values in order to really produce something that's going to make an effect on the world. And again, mindset, values, all of these things are all linked together. You can't really separate one from the rest of them, but they're all important to really understand and to think about and to dig deep into and digest, because it's important to check your mindset. It's important to check what's valuable to you and what you consider valuable, because those values are also going to be part of your target audience, because you're naturally going to attract what you want to bring in. So you have to be the person that you want to bring in. It's just like relationships and friendships. Like, if you want to have a good relationship, then you need to be the kind of person that you're looking for. And if you want to be a good friend, you first need to be a good friend to all of your friends. And so it really does tie into all aspects of life, guys. It's not just business, but all of these things are so crucial and so important to understand. And I hope that I've given you practical tips and practical ways to really figure that out. It's asking yourself questions. You can even ask other people who are really close to you and who know you well. Ask them, what do you observe about me? What is it that if somebody were to ask you, what is so-and-so passionate about, they would be able to tell you. Or if you were to say, what gets so-and-so up in the morning? Like, what makes them motivated? What makes them have a proper, start to their day or whatever? And just start asking those questions and really digging deep, guys. Don't be afraid to dig deep. Again, I know it sounds weird to ask, why? What's my why to do this? It's because I love it. But, why do you love it? Because I get to produce memories for people for the rest of their lives. Why is that important to you? Because memories, physical memories with photography, increase in value over time. We, unfortunately, don't live forever. Our loved ones and our family members and our friends, we never know when one of them could pass away. And I know it's kind of morbid, but it's true. And so photography is one of the most special and unique things to have tangible memories of those people for the rest of your life. And again, that was just an example of just some steps that I took. But I would really invest, whether it's with me or not, invest in having like a mentor or having somebody who can really push you into asking those questions and really digging deep with you if you don't feel like you can do that on your own, because it really is important, guys. And I know I've said that 500 million times, but repetition is what gets it ingrained into your head. And so I'm gonna keep saying it and keep shouting it from the treetops. But okay, that's all that I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for just giving me your time and letting me be able to speak into you in this way. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below, or you can direct message me on Instagram, which my handle is @CaitlinRose. If you liked this video, be sure to like it, be sure to subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so that you know when I post each video each week. I can't wait to be able to dive into the next topic on Wednesday, and I'll see you guys then.